And we're going to go ahead and introduce our player for the evening. Ray, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Uh, Hello. I am Ray, uh, or Reylinn, but for the purposes of not my character, I'll be Ray. And my character is Reylinn.
Great. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get into the um, descriptions and all that kind of stuff in a moment. But this is your first game with us here for Val'Ghast, and we are giving you a warm welcome. So, chat, go ahead and give Ray a warm welcome, and we'll be getting started momentarily as I pull out my notes and my papers.
It's so warm that it burns.
Okay, we're gonna do this one. We begin the tale of Reylinn Feldrune in a small library in a cozy home in Sorath some years ago. This is a memory, a dream of one. You realize such. You. The beautiful creature you recall is there, as she had been many times before, sitting upon the table at the end, much smaller than you at this moment, kicking her goat legs like a child whose legs can't reach the floor. She had intruded upon your study before and given you power beyond your wildest dreams. Power you didn't own, power that wasn't yours to start with. It was a temptation to use it. You could not cure the sick, you could not spare the dying or heal the wounded, but you could protect yourself, and you did so during the last crisis in Sorath. You remember that. Cultists in the streets killing folk, undead wandering the graveyard without being checked. The Night Raptors leaving the city defenseless, refusing to do much of anything about any of this, despite Lord Nikolai Charon's orders. That had happened 5 years ago. She encouraged you to use your powers to defend your home and family, but to do so without letting on that you had them. This seemed like a good idea at the time. You were unregistered. That's a crime. Go ahead and make me a wisdom saving throw at disadvantage. We will have you describe your character soon. We are getting to that.
Okay, how do I give myself disadvantage?
So when you go to do your wisdom saving throw, you click on the wisdom button. You can click on the box that says save, so that is the +5 for you to the right of the +2, and then it will give you a dialog box. And for disadvantage, you just choose the option that says disadvantage.
Saving throw. Disadvantage.
7. Okay.
That was unfortunate.
Yes. You remember the fear you felt, the bastards outside the house, your sister trembling, hiding under the storefront's counter with a loaded crossbow. The terror as one of them comes in through the window and runs at you with a wicked piece of iron, nicked, bloody, rusty. You raise your arm and feel the power flow through you, hot and violently. The kick of the spell almost landed you on your ass. Your shoulder hurt. The man's face was gone. Then the scream and a gurgle. You see your sister behind the counter being held by one of the bastards, her throat already cut, bleeding out. Wait, no, it didn't happen that way. You wake from the dream in a carriage, heading down a busy street to the Ariash Theater of Performing Arts on Lombard Street. You're in Fordeth. You had fallen asleep. You hear the song-like giggle of Gabrasi, the creature you met in your parents' library those years ago. You're gonna miss the show. Go ahead and just describe your character.
My character is a sort of a dichotomy, simply dressed, but also flamboyantly dressed. He wears makeup, nail polish. He has his hair dyed in dyed white, from the right side all the way to his shoulder, and then his natural color of black is on the other side. He wears heavy eyeliner. He has a tattoo on his right hand. It's a small snake. His robes are long, flowing, fairly simple, but of high quality. And he wears glasses.
Hmm. The
At a glance, you probably can't tell what gender he is.
okay. Very good. Very important detail. The carriage stops outside the theater. The driver restrains the horses. And you are able to step out.
I do so.
Okay, you step out onto the street. It is raining. We're in the month of Satyros, and it rains all the time in this month because it is part of the season Diluvia. And Diluvia is the rainy season in Krinth. There is the show that you have this ticket for. That ticket should be in your inventory.
Indeed it is. Lease the musical.
Lease the musical. This ticket that you have is good for one show this evening at this particular theater that you were standing outside. There are some well-to-do people heading into the theater. This ticket was given to you as part of your compensation package for your particular mission.
And well-deserved it was.
Indeed.
Is there a box office?
There is a box office if you'd like to approach it.
I proceed to approach the box office and present my ticket to the box office.
The box office. So you check your ticket at the counter, and the usher waves you through. Immediately, you spot Legate Asamtha Sarkenzi, the diplomat that you will be supporting for your endeavor into the Umbral Deep. She also spots you and waves you over. You met her a week ago. She's a lot, just like Gabby. Gabby does not like her. Ugh, this bitch, you hear Gabby say in your head. You don't recognize the man standing near her. It's not her father. He looks about 50 and is wearing a military uniform. The amount of medals on his chest are impressive. He has a ruby red braided cord and stripes on his uniform. His face is clean-shaven, but he wears the hair on top of his head as a loose mohawk that falls to the side. He does not look very friendly.
I flash my hands in a way that Gabby should understand means manners.
Okay.
And then I approach my contact.
The legate.
Legate.
Yes. She waves you over a little bit more hurriedly, and she begins to introduce you to this man. Duke Sharpaskor, this is my adjutant, Reylinn Feldrun. Adjutant Feldrun, this is Duke Sharpaskor. I was just telling him about our mission. He kind of looks a little bored and goes, "Forgive me, but I'm skeptical about it. We know so little about them. We should be spending more on what resources we have better access to. Zetegnia won't be ignored for much longer. We should be focusing on enlisting their aid to pressure Tal from the west." The legate looks at you for help.
Reylinn shrugs her shoulders. The legate seems to think that it's a good idea.
Okay. He responds by saying, well, yes, but it wasn't her idea.
Well, she's smart enough to know what the difference between a good idea and a poor idea. Are you smart enough to know what the difference between a good idea and a poor idea is?
Go ahead and roll me, and this is for our social encounters beginning now. You can use any of your particular social stats to roll a check. Now, what that means is some people respond better to appealing to their intelligence, and other people respond better to appealing to their sense of experience or wisdom. Some people are more vulnerable to the charismatic, and some people are more vulnerable to the honor, to appealing to their honor, right? So you can use any of those base ability scores that you have there to sort of suss out more information about Shar past score. You can use any of your related skills to do so in order to convince him to, be less hostile towards this mission. You do say what you said, though, and he kind of gives you a look like, be careful. So what is your next move?
Well, I'll go with a persuasion
Okay.
check. Doing the same thing over and over again is a folly in and of itself. Fortune does favor the bold.
Okay. You can roll the persuasion check. You have that in your list of abilities or skills on your attributes page. So if you click on the word itself, it should prompt you. He raises his drink a little bit and stirs it with a small, tiny stirring pick. And he goes, well, perhaps that is true, but let's not sour the evening with politics. Have either of you heard anything about this show through the grapevine? I heard that it had something to do with a scarecrow. The legate says, I haven't seen this show yet. I know it came out earlier this week, and it's received rave reviews. Some of its opening numbers are very good, from what I've heard.
I enjoy being surprised.
Shar says, well, perhaps it'll be an evening's distraction. Oh, there's my daughter. Looks like she needs me for something. Perhaps I'll see you later. Pleasure as always, Legate. Good evening, and good meeting you, Adjutant. And he steps away.
I offer a bow just slight enough to be differential without being rude.
The legate also bows to him, bit more deferential than you. And once he's gone, she straightens up and looks at you and goes, what the hell was that?
I mean, you shouldn't have introduced me if you didn't want me to act like myself.
Okay, yeah, but he's not about this whole thing. Listen, we need. He's in charge now. And we need him to be on board with this. Okay? You're not gonna approach him the rest of the night. Let's just enjoy the evening. But okay. And you hear Gabby's voice in your head, cackling. She is having a wonderful time. She loved that whole thing. She says to you, "You really know how to stir the pot. So glad. That was great. I loved every second of that. Keep doing more of that."
I flash a hand sign to her. I'll do what I can.
Um,
And a slight smirk crosses my lips.
the legate says, "Well, you don't have to be so pleased with yourself. Let's go get a drink." She takes you over to the bar and orders a couple of drinks for you and says, "So, how are your language lessons going? Do you think you're going to be able to hold a conversation?"
I think I have the general grasp of it, yeah.
Okay, good.
I the more I look into it though, the less I think they'll want to talk to me most times.
Well, that's what I'm the primary negotiator, so you and a couple of the others are only there for, the kind of help push things past the finish line if need be. It looks good to have a large party for this kind of diplomatic meeting. That way they can see that we were devoting resources to this as opposed to just sending a guy, you know what I mean? So,
Well, if you're going to be the primary negotiator, then you shouldn't blindside me with meetings with high level officials without telling me what I need to know.
yeah, but that's the reality of the job, Reylinn. Sometimes you walk into a room and the person you thought you were going to be meeting has brought friends, and all of them are mad. So, this was good practice. You didn't know you were going to be bumping into Sharpaskor, Duke Sharpaskor, very important reminder. Um, but you did, and you know what? He didn't have you gutted like a fish. So that's a win in my book.
I appreciate that.
So, what are you drinking?
I don't know, she bought.
She bought herself a glass of wine, some nice Zenora blush. She's a little bit of a lush. As you are aware, you've met her a couple of times in this past week, and she is a little bit of a drinker and a little bit of a talker.
Crinth brandy, and I will be likely nursing the drink for the entire night.
Sure. Okay. So she says, it sounds like the show's starting. I have a couple other people to meet, but I'll circle back to you and we'll go to our seats, okay?
Certainly.
And she steps off for a moment, goes and talks to some other people nearby. Leaving you alone in this lobby area where there are a bunch of people in here. All of them are nobility or wealthy. Nobility or nobility adjacent in some fashion. Is there anything you would like to do or anyone you would like to suss out or talk to? I know you're not familiar with all of the NPCs in this world, but if you give me an archetype that you're searching for, or perhaps that person that fits that description is here.
I will be drawn more to money than nobility.
Okay. Moneyed interests.
More familiar with business than with nobility.
Okay. Business than pedigree. Okay. So give me either an investigation check to sort of pin down based off of like the way they speak versus perception check, which would be what they're wearing. Oof. Most of the people in here are dressed in similar fashion. Whatever the current fashion for the season is what most of the people here are wearing. There's little line between the nobility and the moneyed interests and merchants that are wealthy enough to rub elbows with them. The people that stand out among that are those with military uniforms, like Duke Passivore. And there's quite a few of them here as well. Those are all probably nobles as well, just like Duke Passivore. So probably wanting to steer clear of them. There's a good chance that some of the people here that you speak to may be in the camp that you're looking for to sort of get a little bit of a feel for what's going on.
I'm more likely to look for conversations that are going on with more than two people and just kind of like an opening and just approach.
Sure. Good. Give me a d20 roll. Just a flat d20. You should be able to do that from the bottom right-hand corner. There should be some dice. There you go. Okay. Now you circle around. It takes you a few minutes before you find a conversation that sounds more appealing to you. These people sound like tradesmen, but are definitely higher up the food chain in that arena. One of them says, well, we've put out recently, in the past couple of years, a updated version of that auto crossbow that he had put together, the one that saw great success in Halkorth's defense. But our prototype was lost in Rosterford, so we've spent most of the year putting it back together from scraps of paper and memory. Luckily, my niece is fairly good with that sort of stuff, but it seems to me that pretty much everything's conspiring to destroy us. Poor data keeping practices notwithstanding. This man looks kind of familiar in the merchant world. Go ahead and give me a history check if you don't mind.
Certainly.
Geez, you are not rolling great tonight. It's hot or cold? What is with that? You wait for a few moments before someone says him by name, and one of the other people in the conversation says, "Well, your company, Alston, is very important to the country's long-term military well-being." And when this guy says that, different guy, it clicks in your head that this is one of the members of the Alston Cap family. They are basically military-industrial complex people. They are arms dealers. They build weapons. And it kind of clicks for you, like, oh, that's who this guy is. I remember my dad talking about him. They are prolific. They have a lot of money, and they spend it pretty freely just to, kind of rub elbows with the upper crust, which explains why he's here. And these other guys must be fellow industry people. Alston Cap, Castor, and Crane. Those two are in a partnership. That's who the other two guys are. So Alston Cap is one guy. Alston Cap is his last name. It's hyphenated. The other two gentlemen are Castor and Crane. Most of them are fairly old. Probably mid-50s. So you've been lurking in this conversation. They're talking about current state of upgrading arms and armor, which sounds like an interesting conversation for you to eavesdrop on, because that might be worth it to have some intel about for your upcoming mission.
I stand among them, nodding along, trying to keep mostly inconspicuous, but amiable.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You download quite a lot of information from them about the current state of weapons manufacturing, which is pretty awful. The major centers of industrial production, Helcorth, Fordeath, and Rosterford, uh, are what they are. Two of them are in the hands of the enemy or burned to the ground. Bad. Super bad. Fordeath, which is where you are right now, can't keep up with the needs of the military. It can't churn out enough material. Just not possible. So supplies have been dwindling. Some very necessary supplies. And this reminds you of what your actual mission is when you go to the Umbral Deep, which is to secure material support from the Dark Elves. You're kind of getting a picture of how bad it really is, because these guys are talking fairly openly about it here in a theater lobby. One of them, Crane, he's a sort of old man, hunched over, leaning on a cane, a walking stick. He looks at you and goes, "Have I met you before?"
It's possible. Have you been through Sorath before?
Yeah. We have a warehouse in Sorath. When we ship goods up to Forda, our original route, took us from
Well,
Rossford.
then you may have had dealings with my mother,
Mm.
Vera Thurin of the Thurin Company.
Oh, yes. I have. Well, I haven't specifically, but my people have. It's good to see someone else of our cut of cloth here, rather than military types and noble fops who don't really have anything better to do than languish in the city. What brought you here?
Oh, um, basically moving around trying to, procure supply lines for the Thurin Company. As you well know, supplies are thin everywhere.
He gives a knowing look to Castor, who goes, "Don't I know it? Our friend here, Sir Alston Cap, believes that things are so grim we might as well give up." Their colleague goes, "I didn't say give up. I said we need to figure something out, because what currently is happening is not working. We don't have the means right now." They keep, just for your edification, what was your name again?
Reylinn.
Reylinn. Just for your base knowledge, Reylinn. The military is asking for more shit than we can make in a given month. That's with everything running at full capacity all the time. We've got foundry workers who are so burnt out that they are getting sick and hurting them and getting hurt. We have, horses fucking dying in the highway because they can't they're exhausted. It's untenable. We can't keep doing it the way we're doing it. So,
That is a problem. The military's always reached farther than its grasp, though, and I doubt anything's going to change anytime soon. But I can tell you that other options are being felt out. That's one of the reasons I'm traveling. I'm looking to secure new means of gaining supplies. I don't know if there's anything my company can do about manpower, but it's possible that we can, if fortune smiles on us, which fortune doesn't often smile these days, but we hope it may change at least the supply problem.
Alson Cup kind of nods and it looks like he feels a little bit more braced, a little bit more uplifted. Crane says, "Well, I saw you. You were talking to Duke Passacor, weren't you?"
Yes, if one could call that speaking.
Did he give you a take, or did he just kind of dismiss you?
He more favors tried and true, which is fine if tried was still true.
They all kind of nod a little sagely, looking at their drinks and sort of like stirring them. Uh, Crane responds and goes, "Well, he is a bit of a dick. But he's in charge right now. So, Princess apparently has gone missing, which is awesome. That's great. So now he's in charge, and he's kind of pissing everybody off about it. Alison Kep responds by going, "Well, it's his niece who's missing. You can't just. I'm sure Reylinn here doesn't know what the relationship is. The princess is his niece. The current monarch is his niece, so he's upset that his fucking sister's daughter is missing. It's bad. This kind of thing's
understandable.
This kind of thing's
understandable.
Never happened. Yeah, he's a pain in the ass to deal with when he's not like this. He's been awful the past week and a half, ever since she's gone missing, and he's just been a problem everywhere. The fucking Council of Dukes appoints him to be the head of the government while she's missing. He's the regent. Our prime minister, as it were, whatever the fuck that means, and he's taken to the title like a duck to water, but he's also he's never been a nice man. That's all. I'm gonna stop talking before someone overhears me and tells him about it. So
Understandable. I feel like from my brief meeting with him, his problem isn't, or my problem with him isn't that he's surly. There's plenty of surly people. My problem is old conservatives who run in the same spot. They move very fast nowhere.
that's for sure. His guy, this is Crane speaking again. His guys, those Black Templar guys, would prefer to solve all of these problems by point of sword. And I've heard that they are getting ready for some kind of religious purge again. Apparently, there's a lot of cult activity. In like the Central Corridor, Sorath included. Sorry if you haven't heard. Morith too. A little bit of cult activity. Sure, it's nothing that can't be stamped out, but it's a problem. Whenever this kind of stuff happens, with demons becoming more prevalent, this kind of activity gets worse. You said you're from Sorath. Is your family still there, or have they left yet?
Mother and father are there. My sister's long since left.
Oh.
But they know there's danger there, but it's also a fairly important waypoint, and it'd be difficult to rebuild their business network elsewhere.
Ain't that the truth?
They're well protected, though. They're well protected. I suspect that anything short of the entire town falling, they should be safe.
It's a walled city, and the Charon are well regarded in their ability to defend the city. I'm not worried about the city falling or anything like that. Yeah.
But also, Mother's incredibly savvy. If she feels they need to leave, they'll be gone before there's any true danger.
Well, that's a smart...
Father's always got his nose in the books, though.
That's a smart businesswoman, though. Well, if you don't mind, we have seats to get to. Well, it looks like and you hear a bell being rung. Looks like the show's starting. It's a pleasure to meet you. And they kind of nod to you and strut off to where their seats are. The legate comes back and grabs you and says, "Who were you talking to just now?"
Just some older businessmen was getting the lay of the supply chains around here.
No. Handy. And that's probably why you got picked for this. Let's go to our seats.
I follow her to the seats.
Okay, you guys sit down, and as the opening number plays, and the play begins, you settle in for an evening of entertainment. Gabrasi is both delighted and in utter dismay at this show. She both hates and loves it.
Fairly standard fare from her.
Yes. The end of the show, as you are leaving, the legate says to you, "Well, that was very nice. Are you headed back to your boarding house? I don't know. What do they have you put up in? Some kind of group living home?" That would be on your expeditionary invitation.
Where would that be?
It's in your inventory under your scholar's pack. You're currently, you've been assigned to a house in, I believe, Harpy District. So they've provided accommodations for you.
Yeah, I'll be, I'll just be heading home and
All right, then.
on my way to bed for the evening.
She says, "Okay, then. Well, safe travels to you. I'm going to head back to the ambassador's office, and I will see you bright and early tomorrow for our usual lessons." She
Certainly.
gives you a sweeping bow, and she departs the theater. As you head out into the street to depart the theater after the show, are you gonna hail a carriage, or are you gonna walk home?
I'll walk.
Okay, so you begin your walk home, and Gabrasi is kind of ethereally sitting on your shoulders, kind of like a kid would, on top of your on top of your shoulders, and you can kind of feel her holding on to your hair, but she's not there. She's not physical. You feel her presence there. She's invisible. Other people can't see her. You've learned this through the years. Other people can't hear her either. You've learned this through the years as well. And she goes, "I think that show was okay. I think the allusions to class warfare between the renters and the landlords was a little ham-fisted. I think the disease references were glorious, and the suffering that they portrayed and the love and care for each other was great. But I think it was entirely lost on the audience that we had this evening. And I think the musical numbers were good, but that one actor was off-key the entire time, and I wanted to boil his bones and drink the marrow like soup."
Well, I praise you for your restraint.
Thank you.
And I pat her on the head.
As you wander home in the night, then you get past several hopping locations, bars and taverns. It's not that late. It's probably 10ish. Gabrisi says to you, "Can we go in any one of these? Any one of these? I just wanna spend some time where there are normal people."
Are you going to cause trouble?
Silence.
You're gonna
Please.
cause trouble, aren't you?
Please. Please!
Are you going to cause trouble for me
For
in
you,
particular?
for you in particular, I will say that if I do, it's not my intent. Come on, it'll be fun.
All right, Gabby, all right.
Okay, let's go to this one. And you feel her presence leave you, and you kind of smell a kind of like scent of flowers heading off in the direction of one of these bars.
As this is something I've experienced many times before, I follow with a sigh.
You follow her presence into a dive of a bar. It is a mid-bar fight. Someone is throwing a chair at another guy. It hits him in the face. It hits that other guy in the face. And it looks like a grand old time in here for someone like Gabby. She goes, "This is perfect. I need a chair." And you feel her presence leave. A chair lifts up off the ground and flings itself across the room. Hits a big burly guy in the corner who's just minding his own business. The guy straightens up and turns to look. Before his gaze gets to you, do you move? Do you retreat? What do you do?
I basically plaster a look like I have no idea, that I have nothing to do with anything.
Okay.
Pure innocence.
Okay. Go ahead and...
I can do a performance check if you'd like.
Yeah, performance or... I think this... Yeah, either performance or deception would be fine. Both of them will have different flavors of success and failure, so you can choose which one you want to do. And since they're the same score. Very believable performance. The guy spots someone who is picking up a bench and swinging it, getting caught by another like tankard getting thrown into his face, trips and falls over, and so this guy that got hit with the chair that Gabby threw gets up, walks over to this guy who fell on the floor now, and is just beating the piss out of him on the ground. And you hear him say, "Don't worry, miss, I'll protect you." And Gabby goes, "See, don't worry, he'll protect you. Let's go get a drink." You feel her presence go over to the bar.
For my own amusement and also Gabby's amusement, since I take advantage of the fact that the bar is chaos, and I use Mage Hand to pluck a bottle off the back shelf.
Great. Yeah, you pluck a bottle off the back shelf. Are you just doing a random bottle?
Probably a blush wine.
Sure, okay. You pluck a bottle of Zenora Blush once again off the back shelf. The bartender is currently pouring 6 mugs of ale at the same time, just going back and forth. There's very loud in here. There's a lot of people just shouting. The bar fight that was happening is beginning to die down as the participants are getting knocked out. And you see that like one of the taps on one of the big kegs in the back on the back wall that hasn't been like leveraged yet is in the on position, and some of the ale is dripping out of it and then disappearing.
I chuckle lightly to myself, and I go find an empty table in the corner with a good view.
Yeah, there's a good spot in there because tropes and the fantasy of it all demands such. There's a good spot in this room. It's a very small kind of pub, and by normal standards, there's way too many people in here. So you do get a spot to yourself because the fight had taken some people out. So as this is happening, the big burly guy comes over and sits at the table with you and goes, "So, how did you find yourself here?"
Um, sometimes I find trouble. Sometimes trouble grabs me by the scruff of the neck and drags me with her.
You don't have scruff on your neck.
Oh, apparently I left my fur collar at home today. Besides, it's a metaphor.
You see he's trying to compute what you said, but I think you're getting that that your vocabulary is above him. He goes,
I fix him with a glare, and I say, perhaps this isn't the table for you, friend.
well, I know when my presence isn't wanted. You have a good rest of your night. And he gets up and staggers away. After a moment, another guy sits down, and you feel Gabby's presence return. The guy who sat down has a mug of ale, wooden tankard, looks at you over it. Is your hair white with black dye or black with white dye?
I roll my eyes comically and just say, both or neither, friend.
You see him drunkenly trying to compute that. What?
I fix a glare on this one and say, perhaps this isn't the table for you, friend.
Oh. It's an okay table. I
glare a little bit harder and make it very plain that he's not wanted here.
Make an intimidation check for me. He goes, oh, okay. I don't need no guards sicked on me tonight. He gets up and wanders away. You hear your faithful patron whisper in your ear, I took his wallet.
I chuckle lightly and I flash sign language at her. Is there anything good inside?
Just money, but it's the little coins. It's not the big nice coins. Not the big nice coins. It's the little ones. Little ting 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 ting. And you feel her put a pouch roughly in your pocket.
I pull the pouch out of my pocket and use Mage Hand to plant it on a random table.
Okay. So, well, if... Oh, I see what you're doing. You're laying a trap.
You wound me, Gabby. I would never.
You would. You would.
I might.
Somebody picks up the pouch and goes, hey, is this anybody's pouch? You guys are checking phone, keys, wallet, you know. The guy who just got up from your table goes, hey, that's mine! Here you go. Socked right in the face. New bar fight started.
I lean back in my chair. That was for you, Gabby. That was for you.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you greatly. So, are you going to open the bottle and drink, or are we just going to sit here with it?
I shrug, pop the bottle, and take a hefty swig.
Okay. How long do you stay here at this bar and these shenanigans?
Mm, I decide to humor Gabby for about an hour.
Okay. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me. Ooh. You're a little tipsy. You're a little tipsy. As you begin to leave, Gabby goes, "But no, we were just starting to have fun. Why you do this to me?"
I don't like to be too out of control, Gabby. That's your job.
Listen, tomorrow morning you have class all day. All day! What
If
a...
I don't sleep, I won't be able to make it.
But... 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 And she just starts crying in your head. We never get to have any fun! It's all studying, it's all hobnobbing with that fucking slut-legged Samantha. She wants
I don't
to...
even like her.
She wants to bone you.
She's not my type.
She's everybody's type with those big fucking titties and that ass. I hate her.
She doesn't have hooves.
I'm gonna turn her into a fucking frog.
You're the one who wanted me to come on this mission,
I'm gonna turn her into a frog.
Gabby.
Okay, I won't turn her into a frog. Maybe a
When
goat.
the mission's over, you can turn whoever into frogs that you want, but not before.
You promise?
Of course.
Okay.
Except my sister.
Oh.
You tried that once. I didn't like it.
Well, but she liked it.
She's far more accepting than I am.
Just saying, you should be more open to being something other than this. You feel her gesture to all of you.
You know very well that you like, and then I gesture towards all of myself.
Well, that's fine. But anyway. Fine. I guess we can go home.
Good. And if you're nice, you can stay in the bed with me.
Well, when am I ever not nice? I was nice all evening. I was well behaved. I didn't start one fight. You started that one fight. I only participated in all of the fights.
Well, then everything's fine, right?
Yes. Yes. And so we get to have snuggles.
Indeed.
Okay. Well, now I'm less sad.
I knew you would be.
I'll remember this, though. Class. What do you need class for?
I don't know. I like to learn things.
But I can translate for you.
Yeah, but you can't translate back if I need to talk.
You just say the words that I tell you to say. And you just say them, and then it's fine.
Gabby, you know I like knowing.
Uh,
You like bar fights, I like language.
Great. Okay. Okay. But if we see something that is diversion worthy, then we're going to do it. But also, tomorrow at school, I want to have salamander skewers for lunch.
Salamander skewers?
Yes. Salamander skewers. And
Gabby, you know very well you can have whatever you want for lunch.
And cheese.
Fine.
And cheese.
Fine.
And cheese. All the cheese.
But I'm going to give you the money, and I expect you to pick it up.
Okay. Expect lots of questions from people that are freaked out.
You know you can look like any ordinary person you want.
Any ordinary person you want.
Are you sassing me?
Yes. Always.
Good. I would be confused if you weren't.
And you guys head back to Harpy District. Get a good night's sleep. And go ahead and give me another con save for your hangover check. You are the age that you are. You don't get to drink for free anymore. You are hungover. As you make your way to the academy, which we're just going to do this. We're going to move us to a different screen just so we can have a different screen. And we're going to do this one. You get to the academy and you're in your classes. Your classes consist primarily of language study. You are a student of language, as you've described before.
Mm-hmm.
You speak 2 languages. You can communicate in 3 languages, and you can read and write in 2.5 languages. This Dark Elvish language is hard, very hard. Give me an insight check. Oh, that's really good. It's a natural 20. So, with your natural 20, you are getting the feeling from these language lessons that they're not going to be the most help. From your experience, nobody talks like this. The lessons are from rhetoric. They're from, translated Corinthian stories into the Dark Elvish. So the vocabulary is minced and the grammar is kind of ham-fisted. It's forced. And so you are aware that there's probably not a Dark Elf alive who grew up speaking Draimaraha talks like this. This is good for reading. This is how the words are pronounced. But you know when you get there that these people are going to be talking so fast. You're going to miss half the sentences. You're going to miss a lot of information. And it's starting to feel like you've reached the end of what you can learn from this. You're at the point where you need to be immersed in the language 100% of the time for you to really learn it.
Okay, is the legate my teacher, or do I have a tutor?
You have a tutor. This tutor is human. It's a human man. He's probably 65 years old. He's got a beard. It's well kept. And wears a funny little hat. Not really like a beret, but kind of like one of those bigger, poofier hats.
Mm-hmm.
And he's pontificating about diphthongs, which are combination letters. And you can kind of feel Gabby leaning on you. She has checked out so fully. Why are we doing this? This is torture. This is suffering. This is no fun.
Gabby, you know you don't have to be here while I'm doing this. But since you're here,
Hmm.
I get the feeling that his there's probably not much more I can learn from this. Like you know that they're not speaking this language properly, right?
Yeah, that was obvious from day one.
So you speak it fluently?
There isn't a language that I can't. I'm. Listen, I'm a. I'm a Fae. There isn't a language I don't know. Fae of my power and height have the innate ability to understand all sentient creatures and all sapient creatures. I understand the lowly
Sure, but
frog as much as I understand someone like you.
sure, but is that like more of a magical understanding, or is that an innate comprehension of the language in and of itself?
I would say it's innate because I'm not casting a spell to give myself the comprehension. Also, he's not wearing any underwear, and she points at the professor. I looked. He's not.
I believe you.
Mm-hmm. You should.
Do you think that I have enough what I need from him for you to teach me to speak more naturally?
Um, yeah, I think so. But really, what you're gonna want is like to be around them and hearing it all the time. Like I can kind of help you get through it for your first few, conversations. But really, I hate saying this, but you were right that you were right that you were right that and she's waiting for you to actually like finish what she's trying to say because she can't bring herself to finish the sentence. And she's getting more upset as it goes on.
Well, I was right
you
about.
uh, about that I am not a good teacher. It is against my nature.
Mm, don't worry, I won't remind you that I was right.
I don't like what are one of our banned phrases are "I told you so" for a reason.
Well, just be around to help me out until I find a, I don't know, an actual dark elf to talk to.
Don't worry, there. I'm I'm 100% positive that we will meet them in the future.
I know you are. You've already told me about this one.
uh, and then she goes, "Okay, I think we should just ditch class. I'm gonna go pull his pants down, and then you should leave."
Can I leave before you pull his pants down?
Well, no, because then it won't look natural. You should be fleeing from the site, not fleeing before the site.
I mean, don't confuse disinterest with fear.
Yeah, but if you need to make it look like fear so that you don't get into trouble. Why am I still trying to teach you something? I'm gonna go pull his pants down, and you feel her presence leave you and go over to him, and then his pants hit the floor, and he goes, "Oh my!" And there's a screech, there's a yelp, there's a "Oh God!"
I stand up, I shrug my shoulders. I'm just gonna go.
Class dismissed. And the professor stomps out of the room. You find yourself in the lauded halls of the Royal Corinthian Academy.
Well, that was not a treat.
Yeah, but we're gonna go now and get a treat. Right? We should go get a treat. Let's go get a treat. Let's go get a treat.
An incredibly long and hard-suffering sigh escapes my lips. I shrug. I'm like, fine.
Treat! You guys go out to the quad, essentially the courtyard, and there are several food stands set up out there that are just opening because it's mid-morning. And once you guys grab your treat, she says, we should do a little shopping. You have gold to burn, and we are going to need stuff.
You know, for a creature who doesn't concern herself with money, you certainly spend a lot of mine.
It's not my money. What do I need it for? It's not a real thing. It's a concept. I have done this much stuff of thing in the form of a metal disc. You give it to somebody else, and they're like, ah, yes, you have done that much stuff worth of thing. I will give you X service or X good. Whatever. You guys should just...
You have absolutely explained currency to me. Thank you.
You're welcome. We should absolutely just forego the system entirely and just take what we need, and then give people what they need. Just give and take as people need. That would be simpler. Be easier.
Barter.
Everyone would get what they need. No one would have something that they don't need.
I thought I explained why money was useful to you before, Gabby.
Listen.
You see, not everybody has everything that everybody needs on hand, so money is an intermediary. It's a representation of the potential thing that everybody needs.
Oh, boy.
It is boring.
You're killing me.
Listen, all you need to know, Gabby, is that I'm right again.
You just sobbing.
I can tell when you're faking it, Gabby.
Okay, fine, but we really should get you some stuff.
Fine. Let's go shopping.
Yes.
You just like looking at shiny things.
I do. I don't see... There's nothing wrong with that. Let's go shopping. Come on. Now, for your...
I peruse the shops.
This part of our exam is the shopping part of the episode. You have gold to spare. What would you like to spend it on? Because you have been informed by the people running this mission that your gold is going to be worthless where you're going.
Well, let me see what I have. So you said I have stuff in my pouch and Scholar's Pack?
You have stuff in your Scholar's Pack, not in your pouch. You should see a bracket next to your icon for your Scholar's Pack, for example. If you click on that bracket, it should bring it open so you can see like 7 of 30 pounds. And then there should be a table in there that says loot. If you click on that, it'll show you all the stuff in it.
I am looking for the bracket.
Basically, if you just click on the there's a symbol to the right of the Scholar's Packs icon.
Oh, the arrow.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Bracket.
Or chevron.
Chevron.
Technical.
Yeah, chevron.
Okay.
That's the word for it. And then there's one for the loot. You can just click on loot, and it'll show you all the stuff in there. So you have one ink bottle, one ink pen, small knife, expeditionary invitation, which gives you all of the information about the expedition that you were privy to start with, a bag of sand, parchment, the Corinthian Lingua Signica, which is a language study book for conversation made by gesture, and your identification, which you've had ever since you were a child, and your ticket, Lease the Musical, but that's not in your scholar pack.
Yeah. Do we have our transportation accommodated for?
Yes, your transportation is being taken care of, as well as your rations for the trip.
Okay, so buying a horse is unnecessary.
Yes, unnecessary.
Interesting. What do I need? Out of character, this is generally one of the things I am worst at in Dungeons and Dragons.
The prep work. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, let's think about this for a moment. You have about 840 gold pieces, and you have proficiencies in short swords, simple weapons, and light armor. Right? You don't have any armor on you, though. You have just your clothes. So perhaps purchasing some armor to start with would be a good idea.
Doesn't armor hinder spellcasting?
Only if you're not proficient with that kind of armor.
Okay. Maybe chainmail?
Chainmail is heavy. It's classified as heavy armor. So you're looking in the neighborhood of something like... Let me just pull up the table for
Maybe
you.
leather armor?
Yeah, leather's fairly standard. Hide is also... Ooh, hide is medium. Okay, so leather armor will give you a base AC of 11 plus 3 from your dex mod. It'll take you up to 14. Do you have, let's see, do you have mage armor? You do. Okay. So with mage armor, your armor class will become 16. So
Yeah, my sort of feeling about, like, the reason I don't wear armor is because I basically get free mage armor as one of my, like, spellcasting sort of McDoodlers. And when I use mage armor, the benefit of my regular armor doesn't actually apply.
right, yeah. So just doing the math on all of this, the only reason why you would want to wear armor is if you enchanted it with some kind of quality that would make it worth it to have slightly lower AC. That aside, there is the option for getting yourself a weapon, or like a short sword, or some simple weapon, and then having that enchanted as well. You could also look for some other magical objects to do so. You could roll an investigation check and see what's on sale in For Death. But aside from that, you're looking at mundane objects being fairly easy to come by here, despite the supply troubles. You can also purchase potions if you wanted.
Would access to, like, an uncommon magical item be a thing?
Yeah, you can get yourself a common or an uncommon magical item. Price will increase based on the rarity and availability, but yes.
What about a cloak of protection?
Cloak of Protection is a good call. Cloak of Protection is a uncommon magical item. Generally runs in the neighborhood of like $3.5 grand. You might be able to bargain with the shopkeeper about it to bring it down, but you'd have to roll really good. So, do you want to give that a shot?
I can be persuasive, but I don't know if I can get it down to 850.
Yeah. Do you want to give it a shot, or do you want to move on to something maybe in the bucket of common.
I mean, I do want to give it a shot.
Okay.
Because,
Yeah.
I mean, I am a businessman, and I'm very persuasive.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion check.
Oof. The proprietor of this particular shop goes, unfortunately, honey, I don't think you can afford this. It's a little bit more expensive than you seem able to afford. Might I suggest something a little bit more ubiquitous?
Do you go by sane magic item price?
Sane magic item prices? I do kind of bring them down a little bit because some of the pricing is quite insane. So, what are you looking to grab? Aside from Cloak of Protection.
Yeah, I don't know where to look for prices, I guess. Because if I just look up online, like the DMG price guide, like I don't know if that is equivalent to your world, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Okay. So let's say we have about 800 and we're looking for something in the neighborhood of common. So you need a light source, don't you?
I have the light spell.
Yeah. But you could.
Cantrip.
It's a cantrip. Yeah, and it does give you about 40 feet in total of light, so 20 feet of bright, 20 feet of dim. Go ahead and give me an investigation check, see what we can find. And potions might be a good thing to look into as well.
Yeah, I guess healing potions wouldn't be the worst.
Nope. God, your rolls. I'm trying here.
Yeah, my rolls are bad. I had one good roll, and the rest have been garbage.
Hopefully that won't be a constant thing. Della, is your chewing getting picked up on mic? Only a little bit. Okay. If I keep talking, we might not hear it. Okay. Potions of healing. Easy. You could get ooh. Speaking of cloaks, the proprietor of this magic shop goes, now I know you had your heart set on this cloak, but what about this cloak? And they show you a different cloak that shifts in style and color and quality as they do a gesture with their hands on the fabric. It can change its appearance, and you can make it look like, any other kind of cloak you've ever seen. This one here just billows dramatically. This right here, and kind of shows you a hat. This one can summon frogs or rats. And you hear Gabby go, "Oh, get that one, get that one, get that one. I need it."
A
And
cloak that summons hats?
no, the hat summons rats and bats and frogs and that sort of thing.
Oh.
This cloak billows dramatically, and this cloak can look like any other kind of cloak, even itself, and or, some other kind of cloak you've seen. Or perhaps you could maybe take this one. He picks up a orb, and it makes a gong kind of sound if you needed to get the room's attention. This one shows you which way north is. She holds up another orb.
A compass.
Yes, but it's an orb. Do you not like orbs?
I have not really been known to ponder the orb.
Who doesn't like orbs? I've got spell scrolls, and I can point you in the direction of a good alchemist for potions. But those are the things that I have that might be of interest to you. These two cloaks, this hat, get the hat, and the orbs.
Gabby, I'm not getting the hat.
No! I want you to get the hat.
Out of character,
Mm-hmm.
What does the Cloak of Billowing do?
It billows.
Billow.
It billows dramatically, is what it does.
That's... How much does that cost?
Well, I have 12 of them, so I will give you the cloak for 100 gold pieces.
And what's the other cloak?
The other cloak will change its appearance when you use a bonus action to appear like any other kind of cloak. So it's just a cloak that you can make look more fancy, more fashionable, look like a cloak you've seen before. You can make it look drab and dirty. You know, it would help in aiding in disguises and that sort of thing.
Is that the Cloak of Many Fashions?
Certainly is.
You know what? I guess I'll take that.
Do you want both cloaks?
I do not want both cloaks.
Ugh, I'll never move these billowing cloaks. Okay.
I can't imagine why you would not move a billowing cloak.
I accidentally pushed a button on your sheet. Ignore that. It's just all the people who are dramatic enough to want something like this have gone off to fight the war. So, okay. You want this cloak of many fashionable cloaks. I will sell it to you for 500 gold pieces.
500 gold pieces?
Haggle them down! Haggle them down!
You know, like, have you ever heard of the Thurin trading company?
I have not.
My mother would be insulted at such a price. You can do better than that.
Is this your persuasion attempt?
It is.
Okay, go ahead, roll.
I'm sure it'll be a fantastic roll.
Yes. Well,
It is fine because it's charisma, but
it's middle range for your skill level, which is not bad. You've got a very high charisma. So they go, well, I suppose I don't want to insult anyone's mother, You make a stern argument about that. Why don't you put down her information so I can perhaps open an inroads there, and I'll shave off some capital off this purchase.
Interesting. What if, for the Cloak of Protection, I offer you an exclusive contract with my mother for supplies coming out of Sarath?
An exclusive and you have the power to do this?
I do. Or, well, my mother does. But my job is to, is to open up supply routes with wherever I go.
Okay.
I show them my identification.
They look at it and go, let's go ahead and roll another persuasion check, this time at advantage. You're using your merchant's background as a, your family background as a means to get a little better. Alright, well, if this doesn't pan out, I will be billing your mother for the difference.
I accept.
Great. So, what do you have? What can you put down up front for this?
600 gold.
600 gold pieces. Oh! That's not even 20%. Can you do 750?
I can do 700.
700, fine. Sold. And I will be picking up the rest that I'm owed through the contract.
The contract will pay for itself within less than a year.
I'm sure it will. Fast forward like 2 years to the end of the campaign, and you're coming back to Corinth. You get a bill for like 5,000 gold pieces. Okay.
I guess. If, like, my mother's killed off in the business fund.
Alright, so... Alright. And that should... add a C to you. And is it? It is not. This is why we do these things.
It also improves my saving throws.
It sure does. Let me check this real quick.
Which might actually be an even stronger part of the ability than the armor class.
This is true, yeah. So that should be... Your save there should go up by 1. Why aren't you applying? Apply effect to actor, yes. Unavailable effects, what? This is why we do these things. Okay. Ah! Requires attunement. There it is. Okay. Fix that. There you go. You should see your stuff improve.
I do.
Yeah. Okay. Gabby, you feel her presence like skip down the market, and she goes shopping with you for the rest of the day. It is at this point that your character will be basically waiting in Fordeath until the departure date for your mission, which is the 1st of Floris, which is in about a month. So we'll call this the end of... We'll call this maybe like a week or two before the departure date. So...
Do I have enough gold to buy a potion of healing?
You do! Yes. If you'd like to buy some...
Because I definitely want one of those, at least.
Sure, yeah. Potions of healing generally go for about 50 gold pieces at full MSRP.
I'll try and haggle a little bit,
Okay.
but like if I can get 3 for 120 gold, I'll do it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me another persuasion check. Okay. They will sell you. They'll sell you 2 for 80.
Well, since that's the rate I was looking for, I accept.
Okay.
And if I want to put that in my pouch, do I just drag and drop it?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yep. And the pouches, it's not by stuff inside, it's about by weight. So it's 0.2 pounds for the potions, so it comes out to 1 in the fraction, but it's still less than. So if you open up the pouch with the edit button, you might need to go into edit mode to do that, but if you open up the pouch with the edit button, you'll see a better breakdown of what's in the pouch.
Okay. Pouch. Gotcha.
See that? Okay. All right. Well, unless there's other shopping you want to do for your last 60 gold pieces, that would be the end of our session.
I'll probably just keep the gold on me in case it becomes useful at a later point.
Sure. Did you want to get a short sword? Because you are proficient with it. Not that it's going to be your forte, but it can be used. Let me see. Can you be? Yeah, you can use your dex with it. So.
Um. What if I was to get a somewhat fancy short sword as almost more of a decorative piece? Like I can use it if I have to, but
Yeah.
like I don't know if this is still a thing in current, like, you know how you used to have to get like for a magic or for an item to be able to be magically enchanted, it had to be like a higher quality.
Not necessarily a thing, but
Okay, that's old rules. That gotcha.
yeah.
But is there such a thing as like a high quality version that's just like more expensive and fancier? Or...
In this setting, yes, you can get something like that. It would be of a higher quality. You would be looking to get a weapon that is technically like with the high quality trait, which would increase the die size. So instead of rolling a d6, it would be a d7.
There's D7s.
In this system, there is, because you could just go slash r1d7 and it'll roll you a d7. Look at that.
That is a very interesting thing. I assume you would just like modify the weapon to be a D7.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. What's the normal price of a short sword?
Normal price of a short sword is 10 gold pieces. There is a markup
So,
for it to be high quality. The markup for that is. Let's see real quick. Um, twice the original value. So baseline, we're talking 20 gold pieces for a high quality short sword.
Sure, I won't even haggle.
Okay.
Even though my mother would be ashamed.
Damn it. She would be cursing you out. Now I'm gonna go ahead and fix this now while I'm thinking about it. Just want to check to make sure. I'm gonna roll it for you. There you go. Okay. Works fine.
Nice.
Yep. Okay.
And that'll be it.
That'll be it then. Well, thank you for coming out and playing. I hope you had a good time. And thank you all for joining us, viewers. We will see you next week on the 2nd for Saphira's introduction session. And we will see you tomorrow for Kingdom of Darkness session 23. And then we will see you on the 1st for Baptized in Blood session 18. We got a big big few days ahead of us. So, everybody be good to each other, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.